Wherever Venus sits in your chart, what happens? Venus sits in a particular house in your Bhavachalit chart, not Lagna chart. House placements from the BCC Bhavachalit chart. Oof, please don't make the mistake again. All right, so wherever Venus sits in your Bhavachalit chart, these 10 things can manifest there. Now, very important. When you're watching this video, you may feel, oh, only the positives will happen or only the negatives will happen. No, it does not work like that. Please understand, wherever Venus sits in your chart, these traits can manifest depending on the placement of Venus, which means if is Venus good in the chart, is it bad in the chart, what are the conjunctions, what is the sign, what is the house, which traits, the good and bad. That's what we will discuss. But in general, you have to understand, please don't think, oh, Venus is sitting here, so all this will manifest. So most of these can manifest, but none of these can also manifest. And I will also tell you how will you know if Venus is very important. So before getting into that, you need to understand that in your date of birth, which is your numerology, if there you have 6, number 6 is the number of Venus, then Venus is going to be a bit more powerful in your chart, which means these traits will be a bit more impactful in your life, positively or also negatively. Now, what does this mean? People who have 6 in their date of birth, now how can you have 6? You can have 6 by being born on 6th or 15th or 24th, or you are born in June, or you are born on 1956, 66, 76, 86, 2006, 96, whatever, some 6 is there somewhere, or you are born in the 1960s. Now you also can have destiny 6, which means your whole date of birth, if you add all the digits, then you get to 6. Okay, like for example, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, if you add his date of birth, it comes to 6. Rahul Gandhi ji, leader of opposition of India, if you add his, then it comes to 6. Jawaharlal Nehru, if you add his date of birth, it comes to 6. All right. So these three leaders from the Congress party, they have very prominent 6 in their date of birth. Now, you need to understand, if you have 6 like this, and along with 6, if you also have 7, which means you are born on, like, for example, 6 July or 7 June, like either ways, 1967, 76, then the Venusian traits will be further magnified. Okay, this is very, very, very important. Now that you have seen your date of birth, if you don't have 6, then Venus is still important in your chart, in your horoscope, in your Mahachali chart, but it may not be the most important thing in your life. All right. And most of the Bollywood celebrities, if you see, they will have 6 and 7. Like, for example, Shah Rukh Khan has it, Salman Khan has it, Akshay Kumar has it, Shilpa Shetty has it, Katrina Kaif, Vicky Kaushal, who else? I mean, I can go on and on naming, like Sanjay Dutt has it. So 6 and 7 are there, and you can see they are into, like, beauty, romance, creativity, arts, that kind of an area. All right. But again, just because you don't have 6, or you don't have 6 and 7, it does not mean you are not good looking, or it does not mean you cannot go into Venusian sector. Okay. Like Amitabh Bachchan does not have 6, but he's also very much the king of Bollywood. All right. Now, let's go to the first one. And before, as usual, if you are new, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell below, bell icon. And if you want a personalized horoscope consultation, you will find my website down in the description section. God is there with you, and you will find him always, regardless of where Venus is in your chart, provided you look to him. Number one, wherever Venus sits in your chart, there will be some element of creativity. Now, creativity will be exceptionally multiplied in your chart if Venus is in your Lagna, either in the 5th or 9th or 11th, these 4 houses. Along with this, if you have 6 and 7 in your date of birth, or at least 6, and along with that, instead of 7, if you also have 2. Okay, so you have like a 2, 6, 7, or you have 2, 6, or 2, 7. So in numerology, 2 is also the number of creativity. So for creativity, even if you don't have 6, 2 can also do the job. But if you have 6, then also it will do. All right. So this creativity will come in many forms, like it will come in form of like cooking, exquisite design, painting, singing, dancing, whatever it could be. Okay, some form of creativity, but specifically Venus represents painting. So if Venus is good in your chart, or if you have 6 and 7, then you can, in your date of birth, then you will have these strong traits. Okay, now again, there could be other traits also which you may not be aware of, but in general, you will see these traits are active. And in the chart, if these four houses, Venus is in the one of these four houses, like 1, 5, 9, 11, then creativity will be there for sure. Number two, something to do with the opposite sex will be there wherever Venus sits. Now, what does this mean? This means in a good way or a bad way. Like, for example, if Venus is in the 11th, you might have a lot of friends from the opposite sex. If Venus is in the 10th, then your career might have a lot of members of the opposite sex. Yeah, or if Venus is in the 4th, your females, opposite sex may be very prominent in your home. Either ways, by any means. And if Venus is in a Dusthana house, then opposite sex can create a lot of troubles in your life. Like 6th house troubles in your job, 8th house can lead you to scandals, 12th house can lead you to hospitalization, or like you may have divorce, and as a man, you may lose a lot of money in alimony. All these things may happen. Okay. So, depending on how Venus is, and especially if it is afflicted, then the trouble side will be more. Now, in numerology, along with 6, if you have 8 or 4, these are the criminal numbers. So, then the problems will be more. Like, for example, you are born on 6th August, or 6th April, something like this, uh, or 1964, or 1968, something like this. Okay. So either ways, 6 and 8, or 6 or 4 are together. And if 6, 8, 4, all three are together, that would be really difficult. Okay. So if you have 6, 8, 6, 4, or 6, 8, 4, and along with that in your chart, if your Venus is in a Dusthana house, 6, 8, 12, or it is afflicted by Mars, Saturn, Rahu, boy, you need to be very careful with the opposite sex. Okay. Because your life can be ruined if you so please be very formal, please be very respectful, kind, cordial, and maintain some distance from the opposite sex, otherwise you're in trouble. Number three, Venus can show women in general. Now, even if you are a woman, it will be applicable to you. So for both men and women, it will represent women in general. So Venus can represent women in your family also at times, or relatives from like the female relatives, especially who are like of your age. So any female can be indicated. So even for a lady, if she has 6 and 8, or 6, 4, or 6, 8, 4, and Venus is in a Dusthana house, then also she should be very careful. And especially if in your date of birth 6 is multiple, like you're born on 6 June, or like 1966, if 6 is double or triple or something like that, then even if you're a man or a woman, you will always have problems with females. Okay, you will always see. So you can calculate your basic number, destiny number, and check your date of birth. So if 6 is occurring multiple times, you might have problems with women. So if you are a man and you have this, then you need to understand that it is better you stay with your wife separately. Because if separately, in the sense you stay together with your wife away from your parents. Okay, or even if you are in the same city, you stay in a different place. Because if you stay, your mother and your wife, they will like have very bad quarrels. Okay, or if your wife and your sister, they are together, trouble. Okay, because that is there in your chart, and if that is there in your wife's chart, then it is like stamped. Okay, so that's what you need to understand. Along with that, of course, Venus in the horoscope 6, 8, 12, or afflicted by Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, then more the trouble. Okay. Number 5, wherever Venus sits in your chart, there will be a generic sense of aesthetics and beauty. Like for example, if Venus is in the 1st or 7th, because if it is in the 7th, it will aspect the 1st. So you will have a generic good sense of decorating your physique. You will be bit image conscious, looks conscious, sorry, and also image conscious. You will use a lot of perfumes. You will want to look good, smell good, and yeah, you will want to like present yourself in a very nice way. And along with that, if you have 6 and 7, then this will be magnified, as I said, for the Bollywood actors, right? So aesthetics and in general, like if you have Venus in the fourth, you will have a good sense of interior design. Now you may not be very, like looks conscious or image conscious, or you may not be too much luxury prone, but when it comes to your home, you'll be like, oh, I can design it like this, maybe this is good here, that is good there. So Venus in the fourth can be good for interior design. Okay. uh, and yes, of course, along with that, if your fifth house is strong, then this aesthetics, beauty, and all these things will be more prominent. Okay. So this also depends on where Venus is in your chart. Number 6, wherever Venus is, something to do with vehicles will be there. So vehicles, it could be car or any kind of vehicle. If Mercury is involved, it could be commercial vehicle. And if Venus is in an earth house like second, sixth, 10th, or even 11th in this case, then you can also do some business with vehicles. Okay, not necessarily always, but something or the other will be there. Like if Ashwini Nakshatra is involved, along with this, like you have Venus in the 11th and your moon is in Ashwini, or your Lagna Lord is in Ashwini, then this thing can be more prominent. Okay, I'm just giving examples. And of course, for this, you have to check the D9, D10. And if in your date of birth you again have 6 and you have 7, 7 is enhancer. And in your chart, if Jupiter or Moon is aspecting Venus, then you will have a tendency to have big vehicles. Okay, like large vehicles, luxury vehicles, or something like that. And if Saturn, Rahu, Ketu are afflicting Venus, you may also be okay with a second-hand vehicle. All right. Number 7, wherever Venus is, there will be comforts and luxuries. Now there will be, but to what extent, that will depend on how Venus is placed. So in general, you will see people who have 6 and 7 in their date of birth, they are a bit prone to luxury. They like, luxurious things. They like antique things. They like brand. They're very brand conscious. Okay. And if in your chart Venus is well placed, then you will be a bit more prone to luxuries. You will be, uh, you like if Venus is, especially you will see Venus in the first, or Venus in the 5th or 11th. These three places, if Venus is there, the person cannot just do something. The person has to be like, okay, I'm going somewhere. I will travel in business class, or I will stay in a nice hotel. Not lower than 3 star, maybe 5 star or whatever. 4 star, 5 star. And the person will want some comfort. The person will be very conscious. Okay, how's the bed, what the person is dressing and all this. So that kind of comfort, luxury, the person will want comforts. Okay, if Venus is very well placed. And depending on which house, if Venus is in the second, then there will be, the person will look for comfort when they are with the family. Okay, so they will want big family gatherings, and all this. Number 8, wherever Venus sits, there will be refinement and uniqueness. So Venus is the most shining planet, okay, in the sky. So it means wherever Venus is in your chart, you can shine in that area of life. Okay, so if Venus is like first, sixth, or 10th or 11th, then you can shine in your profession. There will be something unique about you which nobody else has. Okay, so that's a great thing. So Venus gives this uniqueness and a blend actually. So if you have Venus in a good dignity and you also have 6 and 7 in your date of birth, then you can go into careers like modeling, or beauty, aesthetics, interior design, all these things. Okay. If you are into IT, then UI, UX, user interface design, all these things, creative design, graphics, fashion, all these, very good for you. And you can do something unique there. Okay. Number 9, wherever Venus is, there will be some effulgence and there will be some ojas, because Venus represents the semen in a man. So when the semen is controlled, then you will see the body and the face is effulgent. There is like brightness. Okay. So because of that, what happens? You will see the person is shining, and the person will be very eloquent, effulgent, very smart, very intelligent. So Venus will bestow you with effulgence and ojas if it is well placed. Okay. And if it is badly placed, that will not be there. The person will be very dull. You tell the person is not understanding. Okay, so it is Venus is Lakshmi, basically. Lakshmi Devi will make things comfortable for you. So if Venus is good in your chart, it will make you a person who is easy to deal with. Okay. If Venus is bad in the chart, it will make you a person who is very difficult to deal with. Okay. And number 10, in general, Venus will always show your materialistic happiness. So that is your sexuality, your sense of, like, beauty, passion, arts, a basic conception of the material world. What do you think of the material world? Are you happy in this material life? Like with your how you are dressing, how you're looking, it's like that material thing. It's like the classic material element, because that Venus is the material world. All the elements of luxury, beauty, everything is under Venus. All right. So in generally, Venus is well placed and you have 6 and 7. So you will have a higher standard of luxury, you will have more materialistic stuff. And the probability that you are a bit happier in your material life is more. Okay. But then again, it depends. If 8 and 4 are also there, then it's trouble. Okay. Like 6, 8, 6, 4, these numbers in numerology trouble. If Venus is in a Dustana house, you may not be happy with your sexuality or your sex life, or with your marriage, all this. Okay. So you need to understand. So today I try to explain you Venus from all different sides. But most importantly, this is the bonus, which means Venus was and will always be the indicator of marriage and spouse in a man's chart. All right. So if you are a man, then Venus is very, very, very important. So this is point number 11 bonus. So don't forget to see your Venus. But the planet Venus literally does not represent your spouse. For example, if your Venus is in Taurus, it does not mean your wife will be a Taurus Lagna or a Taurus Moon. It does not mean that. Okay. In general, it means, you are, because Venus is well placed, there is a higher capacity for you to experience love and romance and sexuality. But it does not mean your wife will be a prominent Taurus. Okay. Nor does it mean that if your Venus is in Taurus in Navamsha, your wife is a Taurus Lagna or a whatever Taurus moon in her chart. All right. So Venus in a man is the wife and very, very, very important. All right. In Kali Yuga, maybe the most important planet is Venus. So please analyze the chart. But before you go to the chart, look at the date of birth. All right. That will give you clues. Thank you so much. Please take care. Jai Siya Ram.